I just really want to bring in some Black joy and just continue to remind people of where we are from, like our ancestors, and how we're still here, we're still breathing, we're still alive, and as long as I'm on this earth and we're on this earth, we could do things to keep us going, because we weren't supposed to be here. Their goal was to wipe us out, and we're still standing. So that's what's keeping me going with continuing to do these live interviews. And so I am excited to bring on Susan Heyward, who is a phenomenal actress. But not only that, she is known each other for so long. She's a good friend of mine. Hi. 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 Hello. Oh my gosh. Hi. It's so good to see your face. I'm just taking you in. The last time I saw you was a couple of months ago, when you came to my studio and was a guest teacher with my students, who loved you, by the way. You planted so much seeds in them, and so they were so nervous and so scared because they've seen a lot of your work, and because I have them research you and look you up, and they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so nervous. But you were so gracious and gave them so much love, but give them tough love as well, and I really appreciate that from you. I'm glad that you were able to join us that day. But yeah. I just want to say thank you for saying yes, and I just want to check in with you. I know we've had our personal phone conversation, but just checking in with you with like I said before you came on. There's so much going on. A lot of us are in a lot of pain. The community's hurting. So I just wanted to do a quick check-in with you to see how you're holding up.
It's hard. I'll be honest about that. There's a lot happening. It's like a game of dodgeball that's gotten out of hand. Oh, that's so good, and you can't dodge all of it. So it's a beautiful moment as well. There are certain truths that are coming to light. I'm thinking of Griffin Matthews' post about Broadway and his encounters, his microaggressions that really do wear on you. And so this moment of dealing with the past legacy that's brought us here, and then also all of these things that are happening in the moment, and learning how to process everything really, really fast. Can be really challenging right now.
Yeah, that's the processing of everything, because even though this has been going on for 400 years, as you and I know, and then how it's hitting us in our generation, because every generation has to have a fight, right? Each generation, and this is art, and then I'm thinking about our generation fight, but then the generation behind us, they're out in the street, this is their fight. I'm just like, you see how it keeps happening. And so it is a lot to process, and it is happening fast. So with that, what are you doing for your self-care, for your spirit? Are there some things that you have developed even, during this pandemic that you are going to keep afterwards, or things that you were always doing? Or
I was always big on fitness, and I'd like to change it up. So I recently, just at the top of the year, I joined Core Rhythm Fitness, and they're amazing. Hi, Rob.
Okay.
If you're watching, they're amazing.
Tell me more about that. What's going on with that? I'd love to hear more about that.
So like I said, I'm a big fitness enthusiast. So I've tried yoga, I've tried it, I've tried all these different things. And what I love about Core Rhythm Fitness is that they talk about the connection between the mind and the body and the spirit.
Nice.
So they don't focus on just your physical fitness, right? What's your mental state? What does how you think do to how you look and how you feel? What are the spiritual principles behind your fitness and how you show up in the world that way? One of my major things, I was working through a knee injury, and I tend to try to give it my all, right? Do everything you can, but it hurt. Some of the exercises hurt, and so they were like, Susan, your form is not really what it should be here. And I was like, well, it hurts. They said, hey, it doesn't have to hurt. Modify. Do the work where you're at. And build strength to eventually one day get to what the move could be. Girl, I was like,
I want to pause only because you just said a word, because that's a metaphor for life, right? Because we dealing and struggling with my own guilt of feeling like I'm not doing enough. What can I do? I can't. I'm not. I should be on the street. There's so much. I just feel like I want to be doing, and am I letting my ancestors down? But then that's a word. It's just like, you know what? Modify and just where you are and be where you're at. Accept that and grow and evolve from there. And you can play your part. Everybody can give something somewhere sometime. That's great.
But like, if it's hurting you,
yeah,
like if it's actively in the middle of hurting you,
yes,
maybe you need to back off. And like, if you had told me that principle, I would have said, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. But it wasn't until someone could pay attention to how I was working out, how I was physically showing up in the world, and then tweaking that it really made it real for me in a different way.
Oh my gosh. That repeat. Yeah, I was gonna say repeat. Say it one more time. Yeah, I was just about to ask you that.
Core Rhythm Fitness.
Okay.
Roderick Covington. He's amazing.
Yes.
And he gives you love. Like, he's like, it's a part of teaching you how to choose yourself first. Choose how you nourish yourself, how you show up in the world, and the expertise he has with like fitness, nutrition. It's been a beautiful, beautiful thing in my life. I just worked out with him for the first time during the pandemic today.
Oh, nice. I worked out with my trainer earlier today. I was like, I have to keep moving because there's moments where I could just walk from the hallway to the kitchen or to the living room, and then I'm like busting down crying, and I'm just like, so I just want to just give myself that time to nurture my body, like you said, the mind, spirit, and soul. And so working out, and I wanted to make sure I'm working out. I wanted to work out before our interview because I just, because I want to see you, and I'm having so many emotions, and I didn't want to be down here like with my shoulder shaking and getting that ugly cry. You know what I mean? Like, just, sometimes we do need the ugly cry, yes. And I was like, girl, because I don't, then I break down, you break down, we over here like just, and then I can't hug you, I want to see you. But anyway, with all
that was how that ugly cry.
Oh my gosh, and I want to bring. This is just came in my heart because I'm going to be interviewing Russell G. Jones in a couple of weeks, but he's the one that introduced us. And he's the one that said, I know this amazing woman, Susan, and then he connected us as neighbors at the Public. That's how long you've been in my life.
That's how long it's been, and it was like there's no going back after you survived that play together.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know who this woman is, but she just reached out to hold my hand in the middle of the show. We are friends.
I love it. We still going together too. I love it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So with all of this said, and the reason I bring this up is because experiencing neighbors with you and the subject matter and how it emotionally, tapped all of us, and it just made some of us upset, angry, all of that. That's hindsight. But I noticed your video yesterday that you posted, and the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I've known you for a while, and I've watched you evolve, and I'm watching you evolving. And for you, on your page, for you to post something like that, something is really in your spirit, and I just wanted you to go ahead and just let us in a bit more why you did it and why it was important for you to utilize your voice in that way.
Well, I struggle a lot with perfectionism, and I struggle a lot with like giving people what I think they want, and it took me a while to realize it's actually manipulative to like go into my mind and think, well, they want this. I'm like, hada, don't you like me now? Can I get what I need from you now? And it took a lot of therapy and a lot of reading.
Amen. Therapy. I'm pro therapy. Amen. I'm still listening. My therapist. Yes. Hey. Amen.
I gotta look through a list this afternoon.
Yeah. See. Amen.
April.
Yes.
So, like, when I realized that Instagram and social media, particularly, is a place where I struggle with having to feel like I'm presenting something that's not. I'd rather go quiet for weeks at a time than struggle with that. So, yesterday particularly was a day where I had seen social media be so positive. People were like telling protesters how to be tactical and how to be safe, and this messaging about the blackout thing had gotten so like misrepresented, and where I was so triggered by showing up Instagram and just saying nothing.
Yeah, me too. It really upset me.
No context.
Yeah.
No direct directive, and then when I went to the hashtag, it was blank, and I was like, what was interesting was this is the opposite of what I do.
Yeah.
What I do on social media sometimes, I'll just dip and go and not talk, and I was like, okay, well, if I say I'm a storyteller, if I say I'm an artist, and that human emotions are our power, confusion can be powerful. Sharing what I don't understand can be powerful. There's a lot of pressure to know already.
Yeah.
Know quickly, know as soon as everybody else knows, and not ask a question. And I was like, well, I'm gonna be the chick who doesn't know. I'm asking, but I'm confused. I know.
Yeah. No, it's so funny because when you made that post, I was happy to see it, because when I woke up and I saw all of that, I literally was so upset. I was like, what's going on? I didn't even know about the Blackout Tuesday until I looked on my phone and started to see this. And then I went to the hashtag, and I started to see how all this was blacked out. And I was like, no, we're in the middle of a war. We cannot be silent. There's people, the police are out there beating, like this 45 just turned the army against his own people in this country that our ancestors built. This is not the time for us to be having blackout, as far as I look, and then, if there's somebody out in the street protesting, they need to know where to go, and they look up something and they see a black box. And that's why I got so upset.
So upset.
Yeah.
The suppression of information and voices now particularly it confused me.
Yes. And I was just doing some research to see that, I feel, in my opinion, it seemed like it was co-opted, because I know a lot of people now were trying to, fight that and say, take off the hashtag, don't hashtag Black Lives Matter, so that the information could come back up. But I just felt like it was just, why didn't people just automatically know that was not the right thing to do? But, that's a whole nother interview. You know what I mean?
Like the social media thing, it's a different form of communication. And so it's a skill, you got to get sophisticated at it, and how people communicate. And the idea that, like, it wasn't even really for us in the first place. But I saw people from my community doing it, so I'm like, where's the wires?
Yeah.
Here. And we're hurt people. We move together, or we die.
Yeah.
So I was like, I can't do something from my survival if I don't understand it.
If I don't understand it, it's amen. Yeah, you're not gonna walk around blindly and not know and not ask questions. Like, I'm gonna ask some questions.
I gotta ask.
But yeah. Well, listen, okay, so we got that out the way, because I really wanted to, I'm glad, thank you for the check-in, because I really wanted to check in with you. But now I want to get into, like, people who are seeing Susan Heyward on TV, and, Orange is the New Black, and her show Powers, and just all the things that you've been doing. Who is Susan Heyward as far as the artist, the actress? How did you even get into the love of the arts? You look back hindsight, and now we see you here with me. Where did this all start for you?
Well, I have to give honor to my elders, right? Watching Lynn Whitfield tell me about Josephine Baker blew my mind. And Josephine Baker on ABC, if y'all have it, it's on YouTube. Go catch it.
Yes.
Just seeing that Black woman be glamorous and have the purpose of, like, bringing the races together. She was very, like, about reconciliation. So even as a kid, I understood that there was an issue between sins, and that somebody needed to get in there and solve it. And the way she used art and performance and her own feelings, I was in. I was absolutely in.
Nice. And so that hooked you, and then after that, did you take classes? Were you in dance class or camps, or how did that evolve from that moment?
I begged my parents, thank God for them. I begged them for 2 years, and I was like, I want to go to theater class. I want to go to theater. Like, I wasn't annoying. Spoke up. They see. I was annoying, and they finally let me go to summer theater classes after I got the lead in my 5th grade play. I was like 11, and I played a director named Stephanie Hayes.
Oh, you still remember the name? Amen. I love that.
You have my initials. I was like,
I love that.
It's meant to be.
Yes, amen.
So after I did that, they put me in classes, and they said if I got straight A's, I could keep the classes. So academics were handled.
Nice. And then you moved to New York, and then that journey? How's that journey been like for you? Or were you in LA first, or how did you land in New York?
I trained shop here on me. So LA had no idea what to do with me. I had my little TWA because because this was before the national thing was Q.
Yeah.
They didn't know what to do with me. So I was like, cool, I don't know what to do with you, LA. So I went back to New York because I really wanted to do theater, and I was not ready.
Really? Like, what makes you say that?
I hadn't saved enough money. I didn't understand that this was a business, honestly. As much as I loved my time at Carnegie, I was still doing it very much for the love of it, like the amateur part. But I was like, this is business, chick. And I didn't realize that when I got here. So I ran around, like, trying to do things for the love of it. But I couldn't do it myself. So it took me a long time to realize that I had to put me first, that I had to take care of myself first and approach this as a business, not just a craft, and let everything take care of itself.
Yeah. And that's the thing they don't tell you, right? Because even like with me, even with undergrad and grad school experience, getting my MFA in acting and graduating, even taking like a business class, I'm putting in quotes because it wasn't no damn business class. It wasn't, you know what I mean? Just put it in quotes. I'm like, you don't know what you're talking about. I look in hindsight, I'm like, you have no idea what you're talking about. And
like, I love you, teachers. I love you. But
yes. Like, just like didn't prepare you for nothing. Just throw you out there to the wolves and to the wind. And so you get out there, you hustle, and then you get powers. So tell people who may not know, it's not the powers that we, the 50 Cent powers. It's the different powers. So just tell people about your powers, and because from what I understand, it was a comic book.
That's right.
Is that was it? Okay. Right. Yeah. So that was now. Was that your first big break? Like breaking quotes, because you've been working forever and a respected actress forever, but you know what I mean.
Vocabulary works with me. I like it kept the lights on, and I thank God for it.
Amen.
It came after. Oh, when did Powers come after? Powers came after another dry spell, because that's how these things work. I had one of the worst years of my life in 2012, where things fell apart, and then that's when you go away and you like work on yourself, yoga. Friendships, your life changes, what you're doing. And it was actually after I had done my first Broadway contract, and it was such an awful experience, which I've actually never spoken about.
Wait, but what show was that? I think we talked about this. I'm not going to say it out loud unless you do first.
No, I'm saying we're talking now. What's up?
Yeah.
We talked about that. That was Trip to Bountiful.
Oh, that's right. Yes. Okay. Yes. I mean, there's a whole, because I remember going across the street with you and having a conversation at the bar across the street. Yes. Amen.
And it's crazy because you don't want to ruin people's dreams.
Exactly.
People get stars in their eyes when they hear that, oh, you've been on Broadway. But it was hard.
Yeah.
And particularly the hard thing was the producers had basically seen that play be done in the regional theater circuit, directed by I want to get his name right. A director, Tim
Douglas.
I think his name's Tim Douglas. I never met him, but he had done this amazing amount of research and really put a point of view on this play, and it worked. And the estate of the playwright was like, this works. We should take it to Broadway. And the way that it was wrested from this man. Like director, because that's how Broadway does things. Listen, I'm not a Broadway director or a Broadway producer. What I do know is that when I found out that was the way this show got to Broadway, I felt icky. I got involved with it. I was like, that black man did his homework. He brought you money, cash money. But what you didn't do was bring him along with the work that he had done to Broadway.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about that. We got to talk about why decisions get made like that. Who's in the deciding chair, and what that puts out in the world. It was.
Well, that's why. Yeah, but that's why I feel like Griffin's video is powerful. I just saw it day before yesterday, and the Broadway's Amy Cooper kind of thing, and it's very powerful because there's a lot of truth in it. And I also thought that it was very brave, and what it gave me hope in the sense of how more of us, the Black artists, when we go into these white spaces, that we're not going to be silent anymore, because you start to see, and I'm starting to hear how many of us have been silent in these situations, and and there's no fault. It's like everybody's picking and choosing their battles. People are trying to navigate. They're going up against their dreams, or having there's this moment of so many feelings that you have, but it seems like everybody across the board, which I'm witnessing, is that everybody's at their breaking point. And that video was like, oh no, he's at his breaking point, and when we do go back, it's not going to be the same.
Well, all right. Here's the conversation.
Yeah.
Go back. Why? Go back. Where?
Amen.
Go back.
Yeah. Amen. Yeah.
I've struggled with that question. Like, what do I sacrifice for myself? What do I say no to in order to help build the alternative?
Yeah. Because and what will that look like? Because it's a matter of, let us stop going to them and to their institutions, and let us create our own and celebrate our own work.
Kind of.
Yeah. Heather's asking to what? Heather, meaning back to white institutions of Broadway, or how we have places like the Public, the Playwrights Horizon, Signature Theater. There's a lot of theaters in New York City that don't have Black people on their board, or they're not diverse, or they have microaggressions against their Black artists. So that's what we're talking about.
Yeah. Here's just for context, because that's my jam. That's basically. We live in a country where it was once legal for white people to be mandatory for white people to be present if there was a gathering of Black folk.
Yes.
If Black folk were going to gather, there had to be a white person there to make sure nobody was planning their own escape.
Yeah.
Planning their own freedom. So when you're in the rehearsal room and you're surrounded by Black people, but the people in charge are white,
yeah,
people making all the decisions are white and giving you notes about
a culture that you know better than they do. Yeah.
It's a real particular kind of mental. What's that puzzle when you can't get your fingers?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, but I don't know the name of it. But I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
It's a mental thing that's like exhausting, and you do it because you love the craft. You do it because you want to be excellent at your craft, but at what cost?
Well, for you, what your love? So because we then went off a whole other tangent, but circle back to your love, which I love. I love talking with you. Circling back to your love of the arts and seeing Josephine Baker, Lynn Whitfield, and so what is in you that keeps you going? That love of the arts that keeps you going. What is it that you were like, I want to do this for the rest of my life?
It changes. To be honest, for a while it was my own unmet needs. Like there's a lot of us running around in the theater using, particularly theater, as therapy. Right? There's a lot of us who are like, I didn't get this, family or home or whatever, so I can get this in this community. And you find out that's not really real. After that, I feel like it's, at this point in my life, I think it's imagination. It's about showing something that maybe we haven't seen before, or we didn't think that was possible, but it's possible now because what we do can spark people's imaginations.
Yes. And imaginations for whatever that is, like imagination for change, imagination for love, imagination for joy, imagination for just transformation. Yeah. I hear that.
The moment we're in right now is we're here because of a failure of imagination. And I hear one more time somebody say, I had no idea, I couldn't imagine. It's like, you ain't got Google?
Yeah, I mean, and then, or they want, and this is the thing. This is for our conversation. Like people are loving you. They're calling you Tamika. I'm like, her name is Susan. But like, but I love it. Okay, we're gonna get to Tamika. We're gonna get to Tamika. I do have a question about Orange is the New Black. We're gonna get there because everybody's like, the warden come to my house for dinner. Okay, so like, but okay, but it goes to show you that how the country has been purposely dumbing down its citizens.
That's why we're friends, Jerry.
Yeah. So that's why. Yes. So amen. So all to your fans who are popping up here, which I love. What's your experience on the set of Orange is the New Black? Because people are curious. And playing Tamika Ward, how was that experience for you? And let me tell you this. I know the show is done, but having that, can you imagine that show having a season on right now, or people were watching? Because like I started to go back to watch it again, like this last season, because I wanted to watch a little bit because I'm talking to you, but I had already seen it. But the thing is, like watching it now with everything going on has been so much harder for me, because watching it and what's going on with the women, and to me, and I'm like, to me, I'm looking at, and the thing is, like, I'm glad I know you as a person, because like you had those moments, I'm like, damn it, she's just playing a character, but you know what? That Tamika girl, I'm just like, what I mean? Like, how you gonna hit Tasty like that? You know what I mean? And then it's like with everything going on outside, I'm like, this is hard for me to watch now because it even more resonates, right? Yeah. So anyway, but with that said, talk to me about that experience for you.
What's up, guys? Thank you so much. Appreciate you, New Orleans. That experience was incredible. The show was already got such an amazing fan base, and it was unexpected.
In what way?
I actually gone in for it in the early days, and
wow.
I auditioned for Tasty actually.
Oh wow, okay, yeah, I hear it. Okay, that happened, yeah.
And it was like, oh well, didn't book it, and then it soared, and I was like, oh well.
I know. I've been in a situation where I've been up for something and I didn't get it, and I see it and takes off. I'm like, what is going on, God? What are you trying to say? Because Because I'm crying over that check. And
like, this has people, and
yeah.
There is like people's imagination that before it came out, people were like, oh, like women go to jail?
Yeah.
Middle class, like rich white women, and then it was like, oh, these other stories that nobody's talking about.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I let it go though. It's like, oh, okay. And so out of nowhere, years later, I got the chance to audition for a security guard, and I'd watched the security guards over the seasons, and I was like, great, grateful for the chance. If I get it, maybe it'll be a few episodes, and then I'll be gone. Like truly at a place of peace, which I think is important to remember that we're responsible for our own peace.
Yeah, amen.
And I auditioned on a Thursday, found out I got it on Friday, and was off set Monday.
Wow, that was fast. Well, it is fast like that. And then, and so for you being on set and seeing people that like Danielle, it's like you're walking into a family who's your family outside of the TV show, right? Because I look at how we all come together, and I look at Danielle, like Uzo, Adrian, like all these people on the show, and I'm like, these are people that and then like there was an episode where when Nidra and Tasty had a scene together, and then I saw you, and I was like, oh, this is Black Girl Magic, because all my friends are on this show right now. So how is it for you walking in and having to work across somebody that you know?
I mean,
already.
In some ways, it was a relief.
Yeah,
it was a real relief. Danielle is so great, and we have that shared community, that shared system. Honestly, is what it is about values. That like, oh, I know that no matter what, I'm gonna come in and work. It's not gonna be about, I'm famous.
I know what you mean by that. I've experienced that too. Yeah.
And especially for a show that big, I think it's easy to let that voice be louder, right? Like, oh, I'm gonna be big, I'm gonna be famous, a bunch of people are gonna see me. Yeah, who cares? Are you doing your work? Are you for it? And so I think that experience for me, it was very affirming, right? Like they know how to wield things and play puppeteer, so that the fact that I came in and I did my work, fulfilled those beats, filled them as much as I could. And thank you, Wingman Magazine. I appreciate you guys so much. I loved our photo shoot and our spread. The fact that slowly the writers started to trust me with larger moments.
Yeah.
And work me into Tasty's story was a relief and an honor, And when I see people out in the street now, like, it's us.
Yes.
It's people who worked at a fast food restaurant, and there's a real ceiling for us. And to see that character get power and assume power and struggle with power, it's an honor. Griff Lightning, what's up, Griff? You're welcome.
Griff, yes, right?
We worked on vinyl together. He's amazing.
Hey, which is good. I mean, like, I'm like, you. Speaking of that, that segues into my next question, because you have worked on some great sets and worked with some great people. Is there a particular dream role or kind of show that you want to do or you see yourself doing in the future? Have you thought about it or anything like that? Yes. Okay. I mean, some people I don't know.
You're right.
But I just want to, like, is there a dream role that you want to do, or if you, or do you, have if you were to have your own show, what it look like, or all those questions rolled into one?
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
And I think I'll say two answers. One, something that came from myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'm really, really lucky to work on amazing writing from other people and other people's dreams. But like,
Yeah.
it's such an important thing, and you've done this, Jerry, to work from yourself.
Yeah.
There's nothing like offering the world something that comes from you. So that's
You can make me cry. Okay.
Like,
I know.
and the way you switch hats, girl, it's
thank you.
So there's that, and then something that like I don't want to say this justice in white people, but like things where the most interesting thing about the character isn't that they're black or isn't the black version of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, I'm the movie. Okay.
Okay. Look at like take it, you'll take it.
But like some people are like the like the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah.
Like the Tom Hanks role. Where's the black professor who goes on a journey and she's Indiana Jones?
Oh yeah, nice. Okay. Okay.
I like that. Or like those romantic comedies that where the book is like she's hurt.
I love it.
Afraid to love.
Yeah.
Harry Connick Jr. comes in and he's the boy from she's always loved. I love that stuff.
Well then, so Powers for you, I feel like Powers for you fulfilled some of that, right? Because we gotta go back to that because that was we went up.
You gotta go back to that.
Yeah. So Powers, because the role you played in Powers was so powerful, right?
Let's talk. Okay, so Powers started out as a comic book.
Yes.
By the amazing Brian Bendis, and written, drawn by Michael. I'm gonna mess up his name. Owing. It's like a bunch of vowels together.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
And it's this really like dark take on the superhero, which is where it gets its name, Powers.
Yeah.
And it's a world where superpowers gives you fame and celebrity and money and endorsements, and it can be a very seedy business to have superpowers. I played a police officer, which Griff Lightning, I saw your text. He's asking people to donate if they've played police officers, and this time we're talking about police brutality.
Nice. Okay, yeah. That's a good. See, imagination. That's such a great.
Imagination.
That's a great. Yeah.
So I'm catching up to you. And so I played a police officer who her job was to police superheroes. Which, how are you going to do that if you're a regular hero? That's hard to do. But one of the main things that, at the time, I think I would have called it a win. Now it's a little more complicated, I think. The comic book inspiration was a white woman, white character. And when I went into audition for it, that wasn't really on my mind. I was like, who is this woman? Who is she in the world? What's her emotional port? And then I let it go, which I think is maybe a thing. It's like, do you
and then let it go. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And when I booked it, I was like, oh wow, this is amazing. And I was like, let's do this. And I was a little afraid of becoming like the black girl who gets cast in the white girl role.
Yeah, amen. That's real. Yeah.
Because you're like, is it because you don't see race? Is that what's happening here? You don't always know. But it turns out the amazing creators of the show, they were white men who had adopted black daughters.
Oh.
And there's something really powerful.
I did not know that. Wow.
I mean, it's not something that they talk about a lot. And they might text me after this. But
oh no. Well,
we gotta talk about this.
Yeah, we have to talk about these. Yes. And I got your back no matter what happens. So just if you need me in your corner, then give me a call. Give me a call.
See if I feel talk about it.
Yeah.
There's something that happens in this country, particularly when a black person is your loved one, is your family member. That doesn't happen when you have black friends or black people who you're not responsible for.
Yeah.
So the idea that I could be in that part and open people's imaginations that way was
And and how you were on that show for 2 seasons?
We did 2 seasons. It was the first time I was a series regular, number 2 on the call sheet.
Nice.
It's been interesting because like the way the hierarchies are on set, number 1 sets the tone, and then I did number 2. I'm kind of the captain, so there was a lot of learning that I did on how you come to a set and set the tone for
wow. And did you do your own stunt?
Girl, I wish.
Did you ask? Did you try? Like, how did that? How did? Because I see. I want to do. That's on my list to do one of my own stunts. That's why I asked.
So the first day,
yeah,
we were shooting in this big parking lot.
Yeah.
And my character was like confronting this little punk.
Yeah.
But the little punk has superpowers.
Yeah.
So I'm supposed to grab onto him, and then he levitates and he flies and drags me across the parking lot.
Yeah.
We shot this scene for hours.
Wow.
Hours in the sun. It was hot. And I was so excited because I did it. I was like hooked up to these wires and then grabbed him and then dragged him. It was amazing. I was like, I'm doing this thing, Jesus, thank you.
Yeah.
And then we didn't use it.
Oh no.
At all. Nobody ever saw it. I'm proud like I did my own thing.
Oh man.
So much work that happens that people never see.
Wow, man. Now, is there a way for people to see this if they wanted to go back and look, or is it nowhere to be found anymore? Do you know?
I think you can purchase it. It was PlayStation's attempt at original series. And
that's right. Yeah.
It didn't quite work out. There was a lot of things that didn't quite gel with that endeavor, and it was on a streaming platform that is escaping me right now.
That's okay. They can look at. You guys can look up Susan Heyward and look up Powers, and it'll guide you to if it's out or not around when you can watch it. But that sucks that I wanted you to say yes. I did my own stunts, and
I mean I did one.
You did one. Yeah.
I did my own shoot. I'm trying to remember. We got to train.
I was gonna ask you about the gun because you hold a gun well.
Yeah. We got to train with handguns. We got to train with an AR-16, I think. And that was intense because I was very like, I'm a pacifist. I am not a fan of guns.
Yeah.
And even with what I know about Black history, I still was like, But girl, the more I learned about Black history and the more I learned about Second Amendment rights,
yes.
I'm like, hand me that AR-16.
You like give because I want to protect myself.
Got it.
Okay. So speaking of Susan Heyward, okay, you know about the other Susan Heyward, the actress.
Yeah.
So the reason why I'm asking this is because for me, I was an adult year old when I found out that Susan Heyward. I haven't seen her movies or anything, and then a couple of years ago, I was like, wow, I didn't even realize there was a Susan Heyward actress. And is there any affiliation, like were you named after her or anything like that? It's just, and you both are actresses, or and how were you when you found out about her, or all of that stuff, which is very interesting.
I had no idea. Susan is a family name. I'm named after my aunt Susan, my father's youngest sister, who was named after her great aunt Susan. So at least 3 generations of Susans in my family.
Wow.
And this is my nerd part from nerd. It's derived from the Jewish name Shoshana. So it means lily rose. So I really love the idea that it's like this duality. Like there's no 2 flowers that are more opposite than a lily and a rose.
Yeah.
Like that. And I didn't find out about her until maybe I was in middle school.
Oh wow. Okay, you knew about her before I did.
Yeah, like some older teachers would look at my name and be like, Susan Heyward, she was a famous movie star, only she had red hair. And I'd be there like
with that exact look.
like, great, I don't have red hair. I'm here though. I'm here, cousin. Actually, you know what? Let me be 100% honest. On the inside, I would be like that.
Yeah.
And on the outside, I would love a Black girl. And I was like, I didn't know that. Wow. Yeah. Nope, don't have red hair. And that's part of one of those things that you do as a Black student to get by. Survive. You smile when you don't feel like it. You lean into jokes that don't really make you laugh.
Yeah.
It works. So the Susan Heyward thing has been an interesting thing to live with.
And have you seen any of her movies, or are you interested? I haven't seen anything. I mean, I just,
I Want to Live.
Okay. Is that the one when she's in prison or whatever?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
She's like this tempestuous criminal she's like fighting for her life, and it's the drama, honey.
Okay.
Drama, I love it.
Okay, so I'm gonna watch that one because I when I found out about her, and then I was like, oh, I need to know some of the things that she did, just so because I wanted to ask you about it, and then that movie is the one that she got the Oscar for, I think, and so I was like, okay, I'll watch that one. And and in your response to it, the drama, and I like some of the old school movies of the dramatics and the overacting and the drama, but it worked for that time.
It worked for that time, and I want to also say, like, back then people were literate. Yeah. So like they used really sophisticated wordplay and wit, and in a way that like we don't really challenge ourselves right now. So.
I mean, amen. Oh my gosh, this has been such a fun interview and time, and like I said, for people who are just coming on, I'm with my girl Susan Heyward, who is a dear friend of mine. We go way back. I want to say over 10 years probably at this point. Yeah. And an actress, an artist, an activist in her own right, and as she's evolving and finding her voice. And before we go, I want to talk to you about your video, your interview with your dad. Well, I keep saying interview, but the conversation with your father, and why. What was the reasoning behind that? Why did you decide to do that? Because that's the stuff I haven't seen from you before either, and I love it. But I just wanted to know what was the motivation behind it for you.
A lot of it was working on myself and working on like the thing that comes from me. Right? So in writing morning pages, creating an artist habit. Thank you, April Thompson. Appreciate you, my mentor, writing teacher. Writing, like all of this stuff was coming out about all these moments when I was growing up that like were with my dad and very deeply affected me. They affected how I see the world. And I'm also like a nerd about epigenetics and genealogy. And,
I love that. Yeah.
Like, give me my glass. This is why I want to be like that guy in the Da Vinci Code. Like,
oh yes, I mean, I totally. I'm gonna put that out for you. I want that for you. Get that part, girl. Yes, that's amazing. Yeah, I love it.
So like, I was like, that's already what I'm interested in like figuring out who I am. Let me share this because my dad's an incredible person and I've benefited so much from who he is, and I just wanted to share. So like the spirit of generosity too. And people, I did a live stream. They wrote a bunch of stories in Christmas with my mom.
Yeah.
And like people really responded to it. They were like, "Oh my gosh, your mom! Hi, Jessie." And I was like, "Oh, that." Like I said, social media to me is like not a natural thing.
Yeah.
So I noticed that like people enjoyed it. It seemed healing for people, and it was healing for me too. So.
I'm glad you said that because that's why I wanted to continue doing these interviews because it's healing and also to Black joy, Black love, Black laughter, sharing the Black pain, Black all of that. It is everything that encompasses us and showing how human we are. And it's also too with especially with the artists. It's for example, people aren't here saying Tamika, which I love, but the fact is that to see you as Susan and your human side and who you are, I think is very important. And some people tend to forget that we play just characters on shows and that they think you are that character. So that's why I feel like, especially during this time where most of the world with the anti-Blackness, they don't see us as human. My role in this is to show our humanity, and so that's why I'm so glad that you said yes, and that's why I am not going to stop, even though there was a time where I was like, I'm going to stop doing this. But I just want to say thank you for joining me today and having a good conversation. And for those who will watch later, I'm thank you for your voice and just for being in the world because you make it better. So with that said, okay, look, I know. You already listen. I know. I adore you and I love you, and I feel like Russell. I don't know how he knew. But that day he brought us together, he just knew that we would just get along and get together. And it's been a journey, like I know that our past has been, like true friendship. There's times where, you've been mad at me, I've been mad at you. There's times where we just, and the one thing I will say that I love about it is that we've always talked through it, which even if we weren't where we were, it's just regardless of how we've gotten to this place, we've always connected, and so that's
always love. It's always
it's always been from a place of love.
Like we can be mad at the people we love.
Yeah.
Work through the anger and figure it out.
Yeah. And so, and that's why I really appreciate you, because you don't get that with everybody. So, and appreciate the honesty of you even expressing that to me, and just and how we're here. We made it to this. So I guess this is the way, and I'll thank him when I interview him in 2 weeks. But I'm really glad that he brought us into each other's lives, and I really appreciate that. And so, but before we go, I want to ask you. At the end of each interview I ask people about a cherry pick. And for those who are watching or who will watch this later, at the end of each interview I ask my guests about a cherry pick. And the cherry pick basically is something that they can pay it forward, pass forward, or pass it, something on to you that you can do, book, a restaurant, a show. And so what is your cherry pick?
Okay, is it okay if I have two?
You can have as many as you want. I love it. I love it.
One is a book, Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison. In it, the hero goes on this beautiful journey of where they are, and they delve back into their roots of where they came from, where their people came from. And it's something Black people in the U.S. have had to do, study on their own. And I think it's something that would be really, really important for white people to do. And figuring out how we got to this moment, so that you're like going home, going to your roots. And I don't mean just American roots. I mean, what happened before y'all crossed the ocean? What happened?
Okay. Yeah, and accept that, and work through that pain, and accept that, and make the change that needs to happen, or the country's gonna burn down. It's like you willing to let the country burn down because you don't want to do the work.
So do your homework.
Yeah.
Read Song of Solomon and please do the work. And then I wanted to, oh my gosh, look up Bail Out Black Mamas.
Bail Out Black Mama. Okay, yeah.
It's an organization that takes donations to help bail out Black women who have been charged and arrested and put in jail, who just languish in jail away from their kids while they are waiting to go to trial. Systematically, this government interrupts that genealogy.
Yeah.
Interrupts the passing on of knowledge from one generation to another. So if you can, bail out a Black mama today.
I love those are some good cherry picks. And so I will, and when I post this, I will tag your cherry pick. So when people go watch the interview, and I'll make sure to include the link, and they can click the link and do that. And that's how I keep it. Look, you have somebody saying hi to you from Argentina. Yeah, I love it. Anyway, but thank you so much. Before we go, is there anything you want to ask me, or anything you're curious about before we go?
I mean,
you don't have to. You say it again.
Get a shot with the Emmy, like hold the Emmy up, and then like.
You gonna take a picture?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Got you.
Okay. I love you. Yeah, listen. The work that you put out there and what you're doing, it's coming. And all the things that you're doing, I want for you. And the part you've played, and your dream role, and let's get that Da Vinci Code. We'll call it the Illuminati Code. I don't know. We'll just call the Black Code. I don't know. We'll call the Woke Code. I don't know. Anything, something, anywhere to get you on your way to that dream role. I love it. But you're being prepared. Like the roles that you're doing, and the training that you've had, and learning how to shoot a gun, all that stuff. It is only your steps are ordered to that dream role. So.
Watch
Thank you.
Expand and grow and try new things and stick to it. Like there's nothing like saying you're gonna do something and following through and doing it.
Thank you so much for saying that. And let me tell you, that's the hardest part, is seeing things through, because there's times where I'm just like, no one's supporting, no one's watching, like what's going to happen. And the thing is, like, I can't, and I have to remind myself it's not about that, because I am doing it for a bigger, I'm doing it to plant seeds and to show how much I love the community, because you've known me for a long time. You know I love us so much. But, I do have, I do have times where I'm just like, what is happening, what's going on? But I'm going to stick it out no matter what. So thank you. All right, guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for watching. And look at, hey. And thank you so much. And I see Megan. Hey, Megan. Thank you so much for joining me, guys. And I hope to see you. I do these every Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Susan, thank you so much for being my guest today. You're more than my friend. You're my sister, your family, and I love you so much. And I can't wait to actually see you on the other side of this. And I can't wait to bring you back to my classroom, because my students want more of what I did, and so I would love to involve you in that. So once we, get back up and running, yeah. So we're gonna do things online, in the fall, and so even if it's on Zoom, yes, we're just trying to be safe. So even if it's on Zoom, I could bring you in that way. So
okay, if I come in 2021, all right.
I mean, I'm still not, but I might not let go.
Okay.
I might not let go. The prize apart. The prize apart. Anyway, no. Oh yes. Okay, Alice Walker, I love it. But listen, I love you, and thank you everybody for watching. And I'll see you guys next week. And just make sure you guys give Susan some love. Watch Orange Is the New Black. See Tamika Ward and where her character goes. You won't be disappointed. She kicks ass in that. So I love you, girl.
Love you too, Mama.
All right, Mama. Okay. Bye. Bye, guys. Bye, everybody. And again, thank you so much for joining me. And I'll stay tuned for next week. Every week, I bring on a really exciting guest. And next week, you won't be disappointed. So join me next week at 3 o'clock. I'm going to make the announcement soon. And it's somebody that you recognize and that you love his work. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay? Bye.